Hello. Are you a junior front end developer that's going to lose your job in 2 years? This is for you. Is that a good opening? Yeah, I got to work on this. So today I'm working on an idea I've had for quite a bit where I want to train a model. I want to fine tune a model that can take a wireframe and then convert it into code. I don't want to use GPT 4.8 in your mother to use it. I want to keep it small and simple, and I want to run through the concepts here. By the way, hi, I'm Jared, and I'm a software engineer, and I'm going to take your job. No, just kidding. But yeah, no, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to talk through the idea, and we're going to figure out what it is. I just realized I got to post to the Discord. Join the Discord if you want to be in a community of crushers. Um, this should be a good one because I this one's going to be a little bit more. We're going to talk about concepts here. So if you're not familiar with um, Hugging Face and Transformers, I'm going to walk through a lot of this stuff. I'm not going to get into the code yet. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm doing in the code here real quick. Let me change my. I don't know if you guys use Sublime Text, but I'm going to change my theme here. And you're like, why? Is that because I'm 10x? When you're 10x, you change your theme every day, obviously. Just kidding. That's that's not a that's not a thing. I'll use 10x so much that I'm like, are people gonna like think that I'm like being real about this? Oh wait, whoops, I'm in the wrong. Like I feel like I use it so much that like that eventually I'm just gonna become a broken record. Maybe I already am. All right, so a couple things here. So one, what are we going to build? We're going to build something that I'm calling AutoFrontend. I like to kind of get an open canvas to sort of talk through ideas and build stuff through the ideas and kind of just get things flowing. Um, what this is a wireframe to HTML CSS converter. Can't apparently type today. And what I mean is a wireframe, if you don't know, is essentially a design image of what your product will look like. So if you're a front end developer, uh, good luck this next few years. But also you're gonna be given when you're on the job, you're given like typically Figma designs or like Photoshop or some shit, and it's like, hey, you have to make this website a thing. You have to code it, and that takes a lot of manual work. And these people cost a lot of money. I know because I've done these types of jobs. My thought is, if we get a model fine tuned enough, a fairly simple model, I think I might use Star Coder. I'm gonna try it out with GPT-2, and I'm gonna use VisionEncoderDecoderModel model for Hugging Face. I'll walk through all that. We're gonna walk through a lot of concepts first. This is not gonna be a crazy stream where I'm just like coding a ton. Some streams are like that, and for anyone into those, you're welcome. So the what this is, let's talk about some technologies first. Let's talk about how we'll do it. How will we do this? First, we need a data set. And this data set is going to be pairings of screenshots of simple HTML components. We're going to keep it simple for now because I want to I don't want to go all out and make like a page builder at first. But I do want to do something that can get like a login form image of something you drew or something that you made in Figma and take that and convert it to HTML and CSS. That's sort of like the that's the thing I'm pretty sure we can do here. So my idea is to take pairings of these with embedded style HTML documents, mini documents. So really what I mean is and I already have a script to do this, and I'll walk through that script. And I already have a script. I already did the data set building offline. And I'm gonna walk you through the script for that. Because I was like, I don't want to like write that whole thing on the stream. I can just walk through it. Also, a lot of it takes concepts from my tiny web dev LLM. Check out those series of videos that I did. A lot of it takes those concepts and kind of merges it into here. But overall, it's something where it's something where we're going to be getting what this is we get the styles for each. I'm just gonna, my brain's not okay right now. We get the styles for each element and the computed styles. If you don't know about computed styles, look up computed styles in the browser. We get the computed size for each element, and essentially after diffing them with the default browser style, so we don't make our HTML too bloated, and we add them to the style element. So we're getting these pairings. So really the point of doing this, so like what's the point? So you might be like, okay, just get the HTML, or like just like what are you doing? So the way we're gathering a data set is we're creating a crawler. So we're crawling a fuck ton of websites and getting screenshots plus the HTML, the style embedded HTML. The reason why we don't just want to get the HTML is you want to be able to generate something that's going to be styled as we generate. And I have a couple interesting ideas here that are this whole thing's super experimental. I don't know that this is going to work. So your job might be okay. Hopefully that didn't trigger anybody also. I'm not going to take a job, so everything's good. Maybe. But the real thing that I'm betting on is that these embedded styles will be intelligent enough. So, I mean, they'll be semantic enough. It's a better way of putting it. So that the text transformer, or the transformer that's generating the text in our encoder decoder model, which we'll talk about in a sec, that will know HTML, plus it'll know how to generate styles, and these styles won't be so bloated that the context window won't freak out. Anyway, so what's the point? I think kind of just said it, but the point of the style embedded HTML, we can't, what's a better way of putting it? We need a way of auto regressively generating HTML without having CSS. Remember, we're making a tiny model. We're making a small model. We're not using GPT-4. We're using a fairly small model right now. So I do live, Maliki. Hey, yeah. We're back to streaming, Maliki. So we need a way of auto-regressively generating HTML without having because remember, we want a tiny model. We want to experiment here and see how effective we can get with our own data set. And also, hey, if we need to get bigger models, then we'll have better data set anyway. So sometimes it's better to work in a confined environment so you can sort of explore a little more. But we want a way of generating the HTML with the CSS rather than generating styles file plus a HTML file, because it's not going to be great if we do that. It's a long story short, it's not going to be as good. And I have so this isn't just, there's another piece to this. What's the other piece? I'll tell you in a sec. So we'll go back to that. We'll go back to this. There's a very interesting piece to this on another video that I worked on called, uh, and there's a code base tiny web dev LLM. But for now, we'll just we'll just deal with this. So let's get into the tech, the model. So we're going to be using VisionEncoderDecoderModel and trying. We're going to use the standard image encoder, but the text decoder will be either star coder or a standard one. Because I think the standard, I think fine tuning GPT 2 or something is gonna kind of suck, or Llama 2 even. Oh yeah, we can use Llama 2 as well. But I want to use something. We can also use Llama 2. We can also use Code Llama. I mean, to fine tune. Anyway, so actually, I think that would be really good if we did that. Anyway, so let's take a step back. I'm gonna go into what Vision Encoder Decoder Model is, but I'm gonna just take a step back because I talked about a lot of techie stuff. Like, what the fuck are we doing? In the end, we will have a model, have a model that takes in an image and outputs the HTML and CSS, say a design image for that image. Design image wireframe. So that's what we're going to have in the end. We're going to have image AI model, making it very clear. This is what's going to happen. Image AI model, and then we're going to output HTML, CSS. Well, the CSS is going to be in the. If you don't know what I mean by computed styles and embedded in style, you don't know about the style attribute. Oh, I said style element. I meant attribute. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. It's like every element can have a style attribute to it. Hey, aren't you supposed to be a front end developer if you're watching this? All right. Okay, so let's look up the Vision Encoder Decoder model. I haven't really played around with that much. By the way, I gotta talk through a ton of stuff. I mean, I have a lot of this written, but and I have the dataset builder and I have a few of these things written, but I want to really I want to show you like the thought process here, because this is like how I think through problems, and because I'm trying to show how I think through problems, because I think the best way to learn truly is to kind of see someone with experience kind of work through things and see the process, rather than kind of just being super confused and like looking, like trying to check off, oh, I need to know data structures now, go, okay, I need to know queues and stacks, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you check things off, but you don't see the process. You know what I mean? We're builders. Okay. We got to know the process of building. All right. So what a Vision Encoder Decoder model is, it's, by the way, Hugging Face. It's a great site. It's essentially almost, imagine if GitHub and Kaggle kind of had a transformer baby. Transformers are these models. Look up self or attention is all you need. They essentially take this progression of these sequential language models we've had, like RNNs and LSTMs are used for those purposes, and they go the natural way of going into how does, as you're training this model, how does each word relate not only to the other words, but how are these words drawing attention to this word? And also we're using the idea of encoders and decoders where we're taking one model, one representation, we're getting the hidden state of that. So that's the image side. That's what they mean by encoder decoder here, or vision encoder decoder, where they're encoding these images. So we're going to have an image of a screenshot and we're going to decode it. We're going to get that representation and we're going to train the model to compute loss for how the text for that image should look. Does that make sense? So the text should be in HTML. You could do this for captioning. So you could have an image of a cat and like a cat's eating cat food or some shit. And you could have the cat and it could be like, oh, this is a cat eating cat food. Here, we're going to have an image of a HTML page or like a login form, and the text isn't going to be a caption about it. It's going to be HTML. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I think we can just keep hacking away at this until it does, because that's how it always works. What do? We do the same thing we do every day. We just hack shit. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. So Hugging Face is great because we can just like pull transformers. We could just like be like, hey, I want a transformer model. Give me a pre-trained. They have a ton. You can post tons of models on here. And visioning, and I'm trying to get through a lot of information here. So, rewind if you're confused, or fast forward, or skip, or just go. Just go. We don't need you. All right. So I'm just kidding, obviously. But so the really, this is probably the most important newish concept. If you're already familiar with transformers here, but you don't know about this, is that now, or in the past few years, you can encode images not with CNNs, but with transformers. So typically people would use CNNs, convolutional neural networks, people still, obviously, it's like CNNs are widely used, but there's an alternative to getting a vector representation of an image and training a model to do that, to garner the meaning of these and semantics of this image. And you can use these vision transformers. So they have this one VIT, which is like just a good version of it. We don't have to get too into that one. I just realized it's kind of a lot that I'm running through, but I think Swin might be the one we use today, which is a Microsoft version of this. So long story short, they're using this sequential transformer attention-based model, and they're breaking off the pixels and dealing with that rather than convolving over this like I don't know, 3x3, this like kernel that's going over and over the image. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of a lot of stuff, but hey, what's up, Abhinav? Yeah, we're working on an interesting project today that I've been like working on these concepts for a while and really trying to keep it tiny, and it's kind of benefiting me in my life. Now it seems like people want to pay me to build AI, so that's cool. This is what matters, by the way. Like a lot of people just want to learn random fucking tools. The thing that matters is understanding the concepts and experimenting and playing with it. All right, so that's cool. So you can encode images. What they did is they do this. They apply cross attention from the images to the text transformer in their text decoder. So long story short, we can encode an image and decode text with using this encoder decoder model. There's a lot of ways to use it. Let's look at it. So like it's this simple. So like let's actually get a better example. I know they have a better example here. And you can do this yourself. If you want to have fine-tune an AI captioning thing, you can use it. So let's see. What's a good example? I know they have a training. No, they have a training. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong page. I'm on the VIT one. Yeah. Okay, so, and we'll do this in a sec. We'll apply what we're learning here in a sec. But here we have the model, and they're saying get this whole. Oh, actually, I don't want to get a pre-trained one. I want to show you the process of like actually training one. Yeah. So here they get an image processor from this image encoder, and then they get this tokenizer from using BERT, which is a very popular transformer model, and then they load up, and this is all from Hugging Face, which is fucking incredible. We get a pre-trained model, and we load it up using these two. So we're saying the encoder side, we want it to be an image. The decoder side, we want it to be text. I just can't wait to take your fucking dev jobs. Can't wait to take all. Just kidding. All right. So, and then we're gonna get our data set, which is gonna be these screenshots of these components, and we're gonna get these screenshots, and we're gonna essentially pass these screenshots into the image processor to get the pixels, and then we're gonna get the labels, which isn't going to be a caption like they're using here. We're going to use HTML and CSS, the embedded HTML. There's a lot of concepts going on here. It's a lot of concepts. I know this is a lot, but I'm trying to sort of walk you through the process before I just start coding random bullshit. All right. So, I don't want to. It's okay. So. Now that's the VisionEncoderDecoder. So now let's get into the data set. So if you wanted to, so I really tried to like walk through this. Like really think about it for a second. If you wanted to get a model, let's just say this, okay. What if you needed, let's just go through a hypothetical. What if you needed to learn how to write the HTML and CSS for every single type thing that shows up on the web? Like, how would you do that? Like, how would you learn that? Well, you'd have to see a fuck ton of examples, right? So you'd have to have a lot of examples of every type of thing that shows up on the web. So what are the types of things that show up? What are the types of things that people typically want to build? Forms, like text cards, video player, it's like all these comment sections, like all these things, articles, contact info, like all these things are, if you look at the pattern of what all these things are, what is it? But this is how I think. This is like, you're really trying to break down why you're doing what you're doing through like, because we can just use AI, we can just plug in things, but we have to think through like what's actually happening here. So what's the through line between all this stuff? It's all content. Okay, so we have to have a way of applying pattern recognition to detecting, to writing content-oriented web pages. And what I mean by content-oriented is web page, like let's think outside, just like, because we really want to make a product out of this, something that can actually convert wireframes into HTML, CSS, you have to think about the uses. It's like, what is a wireframe? It's like, well, a wireframe is typically portraying a product that has a lot of content on it. Whether it's there's form, there's text, like things that are like content. By the way, like content equals things the user cares about. Like it's user oriented things. Okay. So we have to make sure that when we're getting our data set, and I've already done this, so I'll walk you through the code a little bit. When we're getting the data set, we want to get data that's user oriented. So we don't want to like get a ton of fluff, because I don't want to just do a page by page by page. That's too crazy. We want to have a pretty small data set. Like, I mean, we want each thing we pass into the encoder decoder to be pretty small. We don't want it to be too crazy. How do you even come up? Don't make the wheels a big standard for, yeah. How do you even come up with such ideas? I don't know. So it's like, so you have to, so when we're, so the, yeah, how do I come up? Well, this idea, I just was like, how do I automate my job away? Just kidding. But also not really. But like really, I mean, that's what we do, is we automate things. So it's like, but if we have to get content, and I already have an algorithm for this that I can show you. So, because we have to get pairings of screenshots to the HTML and embedded CSS to that screenshot, right? And we don't want to get the screenshot of the whole page, because that would be like a billion carat token thing. Like that would be way too big. So we have to keep it pretty small. We have to have it usable. So we have to detect content on the page, and we have to take screenshots of that content, and then we have to get the HTML and CSS of that. Does that make sense? So let me show you the script for that. Let's walk through. I'm not going to just show you a ton of code, not explain. Oh my God, this color scheme is this is why I don't use this color scheme. Oh my God, this color scheme is so bad. All right, is there like a, yeah, this is better. Okay, this is what I think I was using before. I don't know why I changed it, just because I was like, I feel like white's easier on the eyes. I don't know. All right, so I know this is a lot. It's a big file, but this is, I just like kind of put all this together from different code bases I already had for some things that are related. And let me just walk through. I'm not going to walk through the whole thing. I'm just going to walk through this part right here. Process content density. So like, you're an engineer. So in the next 5 years, you're most likely not going to be asked to make a ton of UIs as much as you're going to be asked to get data. That's just reality. You're going to be asked to process data and engineer around the data and do stuff with the data. So it's really important to understand these types of things. I'm not going to walk through, I'm going to do a very high level of what's happening here. So I need a data set. So I'm like, how am I going to get a data set to fine tune a model to get image pairings with HTML? How am I going to do that? I need like a ton of that, and I can't get the whole page. So I need like login forms, and I need like search form boxes and all that. So I thought through this idea where I go and I essentially detect recursively through every element, and I detect if each element has a lot of content inside of it, quote unquote. So I get content density scores is what I call it. So content density. What is that? Okay. So what I mean by that is a DOM, an HTML, I'll have to be too verbose. An HTML element that has a significant amount of content and it's not a singleton content. So it's not like one paragraph. Like, I don't care about. I doubt anyone's gonna use my wireframe program to screenshot one paragraph to generate HTML for. They're gonna screenshot an article or something and want to get the HTML for that, right? So does that make sense? So like a significant by what I mean by a significant amount of content is I want to get components. This is a component detector. So I'm using this to detect component, and I can show you the output that I already have here. Like this is a component that I detected from Brave. I can show you all this. Like I scraped Brave here. So I detected this was a component because it had a lot of content, had a lot of text elements in here. That's funny. I just use an example. This is a bad one. This should not be here. These are all bad. But this one's actually not that bad. There's a little thing in front of it, which isn't great, which is fine. But this one's good because it has a little thing in front of it. But it has a by the way, we need a way of pruning these as well because we don't want to just it's fine to train off of just paragraphs and stuff like that. But this is good. This is like a article this is like a what's it called? A text feed item. That's a better one that doesn't have a thing in front of it. See, this is a good. So this was detected as in my script. This is detected as an image component, and then the screenshot was taken. Don't worry, we'll get into the action soon. We'll get into the action soon. So that's what this is doing. And I can show you how the script like what. Oh yeah, and I'm like detecting. Oh, like is this a form object? Yeah, pretty much what I was saying. Is it an image? Is it a form object? Is it all that shit? And then once I detect all that, that's when I determine whether it's content. And this is like a fairly complicated algorithm here. So it's just a lot of things happening. So there's no point in kind of walking through it. But all right. So you can see I'm just doing coefficients. All right. So let's show. I'm going to show you how this is working. Let me show you how this is working. So let's go. So this is my data set builder. So when I make this open source, you can get your own data set by just saying npm run dataset builder. This shit's small. Let's see. So now it's getting features. It's opening up Puppeteer. This is all scraped through Puppeteer. And it uses a seeds file where I just use different seeds. That's what web crawlers do. They like start at seeds and then they just keep going to the links. You'll see it happen. You see how it's jumping around a lot? Like it's scrolling into view all the detected components on the page, and then it's screenshotting each of them. And yeah, you can see it's jumping around because it's scrolling into view so that I can screenshot it. And it's outputting all these screenshots into a folder. And I don't really need to show you. We don't have to wait for that. We already have a data set to mess around with. Really small one. But so we get let's go back to this. So we get the screenshots. And after we get the screenshots, we do some other interesting stuff. We embed every single, what I mean by embed is we get the computed styles for every single element in it. We diff it with the control styles of what the element actually looked like. So we only get the unique things that make that element different. And then we add those styles to the HTML. And then we get that string. And then in the end, it looks crazy. Let me show. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, I also compress all these images just for my own sanity. But in the end, it looks like you probably can't see. I should get rid of those classes. I just realized. Yeah. But anyway, it has like a ton of styles. It has like a ton of styles, and these are all like unique styles with the on the element. They don't look all unique, but okay. So that's the concept of how we get the data set. The data set, we get a pairings of these screenshots in the HTML and CSS that represents the screenshot, and it's fully self-composed, contained because the HTML. We don't have like a ton of HTML and a ton of CSS. It's all the styles in the HTML elements. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so let's go. And nice. Let's go now. That's the data set. Let's go to I'm calling this AutoFrontend. Now let's actually I need to get to work now for the next couple hours. Because I don't know if this is actually going to work. I didn't train the model yet, but I'm going to show you like how I'm doing this. So I have this collab, obviously, because I'm always in fucking collab. And then okay, so I'm loading up, as you saw, the VisionEncoderDecoder. I'm getting, and also, yeah, you can just fast forward. If you didn't want to learn the explanation of anything, you can just fast forward to right now. That's fine. If you're lazy, that's okay. You don't have to watch anything. All right, so I'm seeding it to 42. I'm loading it up. I just uploaded all the screenshots and I call it feature translation. This is just the HTML for all the screenshots. I get that right here. No, this is how your job's going to get automated. It's not going to be like fancy. It's going to be some guy, some dude just hacked some bro just hacking away, just barely understanding concepts, just building. Just kidding. Yeah, you got to understand the concepts. All right, so here, yeah. I actually don't need to do this. Interesting. So I'm using the dataset class that we're getting from PyTorch and essentially creating a dataset that will be used for the data loader. And I'm just processing all the information. So I processed those images, the screenshots we just took. I already have this is like a cooking show where it's like, oh, I already had the data set already made. So it's like, yeah, this is how you make this is the process rather than make the data set. All right, I already have the data set. No, it took like five minutes for the data set for me to scrape the data set. I don't know why people aren't making their own data sets. It's life's so much more fun that way. Okay, so and then yeah, batch size of 1. I gotta figure out. Yeah, we're not gonna do that, obviously. But let's figure this out. Let's get to it. Now we're having fun. Now we get to the fun part. So now let me run this. Oh yeah, so this is just a basic train loop. Oh yeah, this is what I was last doing. I need to get this step. I'm gonna have a hyperparameter for like not sample every, but I'm gonna say print loss per or just loss eval. We'll just say every 100 steps, we'll just evaluate the loss, or we'll just print out the loss. What did I just call it? Let's do loss print. Loss print. Steps. Okay. So I'm saying, let me get the modulus of that. Whenever we hit 100 or whatever, just print. For now, I'm just printing the loss object for the loss. And we have this total train loss, which we're using, I believe, per epoch. This is like a train loop that I got somewhere and I just like fucked around with it a ton. Yeah, I need to fix the sampling. We'll fix the sampling in a sec. typically you can just do .train if you in Hugging Face when you get a trainer object. I'm not doing that here. We're just doing it manually. Oh, I didn't run this again. And I'm going to have a video where I kind of talk through these concepts a little bit more. Well, this might be a series, actually. We'll see how far we get here. I might make this part 1. Gotta edit this as like part 1. Let's see. Let's pull this down. All right, let's run this training. Okay, is that actually doing it? Yeah, I think it is doing it every 100 steps. I mean, yeah, the loss is going down, but like, we'll see. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's good because I'm also truncating the HTML a decent amount, so we'll see. I think I'm truncating it by a lot actually, but it's actually not bad how the loss is going. I was actually afraid that it was gonna freak out. By the way, we're testing on BERT right now. That's why this is so fast. We're gonna escalate a little bit because it's only like 512 context window or whatever. So we need a way big. Yep, there it is. That's an issue. The loss is, let's see, I think it's about to finish this epoch because I think there's only 500 and something examples. Interesting. And we're only logging every 100 ones. Isn't machine learning fun? Oh shit. Oh, validation's broken. Totally forgot. Yeah, I didn't rewrite I gotta rewrite this part. For batch. I don't have to do that. Actually, I don't have to do any of that. We can copy this. Wait, is this the same place? Yeah. Get rid of that. I know I'm saying batch and I'm using it as a single thing. It's fine. Everything's fine. All right, so I think that should fix that. But I mean, the model's still trained, so yeah, we're starting at the same loss as before. This is one where generating code is like a whole thing. Honestly, I probably should do a reinforcement model here. And I'm thinking if I can do some reinforcement learning with like human feedback here, and if I can implement that here, I think that might be what's good. Either way, we're probably not using this BERT model anyway in the long term. That's not what really matters here. Let's see. I mean, the loss is going down, but it's like, and that's fine. It seems like it's going down in a fine way. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm a little worried about, not worried. Well, what am I sound like oh, I'm worried. It's code. Okay, but let me see what this, hold on a sec. I need to look at what the data looks like. Let's just have that run. Oh, I just realized it's loss didn't really go down that time. I'm graphing it, right? Yeah, perfect. I'm only graphing after each epoch. You know, it's another thing. It's only doing it's doing like it's doing one batch, or it's not batching it properly. Okay, so SNS isn't. What is SNS? I have this from remember my Debate Me Bro stream. I made a Jordan Peterson AI. Oh, it's from Seaborn. I made a Debate Me Bro bot, and I took most of this code from that and a previous coding generator project I made. The only reason the internet will exist in the future is to connect people to people for social and AI to AI for all services. The internet we know now is gone in 5 years. Emails and websites are gone. You think? Is the internet going to be gone in the way you're saying? Maybe. I think things are going to get really weird. I also think um, it's going to be more so about who can have interesting ideas, because in terms of software, uh, because software is gonna. I gotta make sure this isn't over training or over. Yeah, I'm saying software is gonna. Um, that might. I think it's still good. Oh, but like the software is gonna get really good at generating software. I know a lot of people are like, no, like you always will need a software engineer. I don't know why people think that. Like, I mean, you always need a software engineer, but what I mean is for building ideas out, I don't think so. You're gonna need less software engineers, I guess I should say. I'm gonna stop it. I don't think I think it's I think it just stop learning. And I think it's gonna be more so you have an idea and it's like which idea is interesting. Um and oh yeah, right. There's only one epoch. So these don't really matter. Yeah, I didn't okay. So let's look at the model parameters. I don't know. That doesn't matter at all. Okay, so I'm gonna. Is this generation gonna work? No. Input type and weight should be the. Oh, it's not CUDA. Using CUDA because we're using GPU. Interesting. You know what's interesting about this? It. Oh yeah, I need to. It did actually generate HTML. It's the class. It's in class equals, not style equals. Interesting. So using this shitty birth thing, it actually kind of is doing stuff. The max length is default is 20. Change that to like 1,000 or something. 250. I don't know why it's all spaces. Wait, what am I doing? Split spaces. Join. It's not what I wanted to do. I added this to the wrong thing. But why is there spaces? Are this genuinely outputted spaces? No. Anyway, I mean that's not a big deal. Let me worry about bigger deals. So far it actually did learn a decent amount, which is cool. You see how it has style equals? That's what the element looks like. That's actually really cool. There's a problem. And I think you probably know. So, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not even explaining what's happening here. So, terrible host. So I'm taking this is the image that I'm predicting. Okay. This is the image I'm predicting. So I want to get embedded HTML that is generated from that. Let's see. Oh yeah, it looks like it's hallucinating right there. And then do style again. Well, it learned some stuff. Context windows are way too small. There's a lot of issues with it. I don't know why it generated with all these spaces here. Like I want to see, is this in the, does it generate a ton of spaces in IDs? There might be something wrong with the way I'm generating the way I'm processing the data. Just my prediction. Let's see. Is there anything? Do any of these look repeated? No. No, it's how. No. Skip special. I actually don't want to skip special tokens. Let's see. It's cool though. It did actually learn stuff. We obviously have to change a ton of things like that. I want to see the CLS token and all that. But why is it they're like it's like spaces in between. And then this is a token. You know what? We gotta fix a ton of stuff. You know why? I didn't process the HTML properly. We gotta figure out how to tokenize the HTML because you know what? That I didn't realize that I'm doing here. I need to add spaces. I'm going to show you one of these dataset items and you'll see what I mean. We can post process it. So a couple agenda items. I'm not going to go into our actual training with CodeLlama yet. So agenda items. Use CodeLlama. But other than that, we want to clean the HTML data more. There's another thing I want to do, which is use my semantic CSS framework. I have this. I'll go through what I mean by that. No, it wasn't 1011. No, there's something wrong with I think there's something wrong with the batch decode. Let's see. So we got to first let's just clean the HTML. Clean the HTML. I forgot what's the context window on CodeLlama. You may want to use star coder. Let's see. Oh wow. 100,000 tokens. Awesome. Fine tuning is probably gonna be a fucking pain though. If I'm being honest. I think we're gonna have to use PFT to fine tune it, which isn't a big deal. Oh wait, we don't have to fine tune it. I just realized I don't think we can use it as I think they only want a certain type of transformer here. Anyway, we'll deal with that when we deal with it. We could find another model that's like that knows HTML. It's fine. We don't need a huge one. Like we don't really need an LLM for this one. For any of this. Okay. Let me just make sure we got to clean this data here. Get the 0th or I think it's number 1. Is that a thing? Yeah. What does this look like? Interesting. It's a lot of shit. We got to clean this up. That's a lot of stuff, actually. Hold on a second. Whoa. Oh, it's the main thing on the page. Okay, you know what we got to do? We got to clean this data set. We don't want to add anything this long. So let's this is what I do when I feel like I have something in my data that's like too large. It was my Rain Man answer to your verbal question or my repeated LOL. 1011. All right. For data item in raw data set, print data item. We just want to see how long each of these things are, just the character length. I'm also gonna add spaces to this shit. Like, we need to separate. Like, this whole thing should be like we need to just add spaces to it, which we can do in our we can post process this. We can do it in here. We can use beautiful soup actually. Yeah, we can use beautiful soup. So let's get anyway, let's do the length of the data item, and I call it the embedded style HTML. I'm using camel case because JavaScript fucking psycho. Oh, right. A feature ID. That's what I call these IDs. So let's get the data item right here. Yeah, some of these are way big. And you see how some are like way small. We want to only use the small one. We don't want these like fucking huge ones. Like, you see how this first one is like 600,000? Like, that's because it's the whole it's the whole page. I don't want to do that. You can see why. It's way too many things. Let's just do filtered data set. I want to see what's a good like cut point here. Let's do like 100,000. And characters isn't great to use for this, but I am going to use it because it's fine enough for me to know the size, because each of these elements, the style embed is roughly the same amount of characters. So, I mean, it's not like dramatically different. So I can guess that if the character limit's big, then it's a big component. And yeah, so let me see. Data item. We want to say if this is less than 100,000. And I'm going to use filter iteration tool, or I'll use the filter because it's like, I think I did push. I've been doing so much JavaScript. What the? All right, so yeah, let's. Oh, I just realized our data set looks like this. So we want to append to it. We'll do this, and we'll say data item. I want to compare these two things, so let's just run that. Oh, second try. Okay, so here I'm going to print dataset size, data sets, whatever, sizes. This is our original. This is our pruned. Okay. Oh, wow. Only 45? I think that's fine. I think that'll actually dramatically improve things. But before we do that, I'm gonna add spaces to this because I want the generation to, I don't want everything to just be all clumped together like this. Um, I know the tokenizer is, like I want the tokenizer to work better. Okay. So let's get beautiful. Let's do it in Python. I was gonna do it. No. Let's do it in my dataset builder in Node. I use Cheerio instead. Let's make oh, I already have a file called clean that I was like already gonna do this. um, Cheerio. I love Cheerio. Cheerio is like one of the best packages for npm. Let me make sure I have it. One of the coolest things because it pretty much lets you do jQuery in Node, and you can load up an HTML document to a string. And I've been using it for a while, and I like it. All right, so I have a file where I clean stuff up with Cheerio. I mean, I have another project where I do that. Where is that? It's not this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so yeah, I just need to copy I copy my own code. If you don't copy your own code, you're not 10x. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so we're gonna first load up feature translations with FS. So is this what I call this file that has all of our HTML in it? Feature translations equals JSON.parse. What am I doing? Oh yeah, FS read file sync. We're not doing async IO here, so we don't really care about blocking the CPU cycles here. Okay, so FS read file sync. Where is it? Temp feature. Where the fuck is this? Oh yeah, feature dash translations. JSON. And we can actually, I want to keep this file because I always keep the original files in my, when I'm cleaning data and stuff. It's always good to do that. So I'm going to create an like a output file. So this is like, I can call this clean feature translations.json. I didn't need to like create the file here. I can just create it after. This is our cleaned feature. Oh, actually, I can overwrite these things. By the way, what I'm doing is I'm trying to clean up this big HTML string we have because as you saw, it's like super messy. See, this is the process. Okay, this is the process. This is how you turn This is how you turn your ideas into a thing. Okay, it's the process. This is the building process. You put your for loop in your for loop in your no. Okay, so for feature ID feature translations. Then we get feature translations, feature ID. Yeah. And then we get the embedded. This is the item. And we get the data item And I call it embedded. I can just go into the file where embedded style HTML. Yeah, I do. I get my data sets with Node.js. If you have a problem with that, you go get your own data sets. Because I love Puppeteer. I love Cheerio. Hey, what you can do about it? Okay, so we get the HTML string. We load in the Cheerio. So what I want to do, I want to go through each element here, and I want to add spaces. Okay, let's do it. So I want to, for each element, yeah, is that how you look for each element? If I do it in there's a dot each, right? Oh wait, I do it right. I do it right here. I've already done this. But I did it as a secondhand thing when I really wanted. This is a whole other project. I could talk about this one, but it might hurt. Dude, this one, like this other project, I could talk about this one. It's a little similar, but it hurt. Cause like and no, it didn't hurt because like half of this project is half of that other project. I might talk about it and I'll talk about it another time. I'll talk I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about it. See, I'm adding spaces here. I think that's enough because let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Do I want, because the frequency of your spaces, when your tokenizer is running, the frequency of your spaces does matter. Because, like, for instance, I'm pretty sure main in this dash in this column, or I'm pretty sure it's 3 separate tokens, right? Which is fine. But when you have something as consistent as spaces in between stuff, it helps. Trust me. Trust me. Oh, you know what? I gotta remove the classes. Yeah, just remove the classes because it's like it's not. I'm pretty sure it's just not useful. And I have these. Yeah, I need to do this. I didn't do this. Where's Where am I? Okay. So yeah, I have all these. I use these in my web scraper to track it, so we can remove that. We can remove the classes. Really, we can remove everything other than the style thing because we're only doing this to generate HTML and CSS. It's very messy HTML and CSS. By the way, yeah. So all we're doing is we're adding a space. You'll see what it looks like. It'll look good. We're adding a space. The style. Remove the classes. We can remove other stuff. I don't want to remove like every. Here's another thing. When you're scraping websites, it's like a lot of the attributes on HTML do matter for the view and the display. Like for instance, on the col attribute, right? On tables, like things like that. Okay, so I think we're good. And I don't think we have to check if this exists. Yeah, I don't think that matters. I'll just do it just in case. In case. I know this one's gonna exist. I added this. It's just a thing I added in the scraping routine. Okay, so this is just a function to clean the data, and then I can just copy more of my code, here. Yeah, and then I get the HTML. Oh wait, I need to get the entire HTML. This is actually separate. Hold on a sec. I gotta look this one up. Remember, this is the image that we're doing inference on. So Cheerio. Remove Cheerio. All right. Get entire HTML. Is it just this .html? Yeah. Where is it? Let's get Google. Let's get full HTML of the page. I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I just clicked Google Chrome. Slowly losing my mind. All right, so let's now make this data item, set this to this HTML object. And let's say for, oh wait, I do, what's it called? I compress the HTML, by the way. For anyone wondering, I compress the HTML. I think it matters. Kinda. Not really. Oh, you know what I should do also? I should sort this. Because the order matters. Yeah, I'm gonna sort it every time. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, because the transform is like left to right window, context window. So if these are always sorted in the same direction, that's important. That's important. Oh, there's the whole other like part of this project that makes it really fucking cool that I'm really excited to talk about, but I just want to get all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with this project. A lot of cool stuff. Okay, so get the data item. So we're gonna have a, oh yeah, we can just copy the original object. And then we just say, oh, just say feature ID equals, I just love taking jobs. It's great. Now I'm doing print in JavaScript. I'll do like console log or push in Python, and then I'll do print console logging. Why am I console logging? Okay. Finished. Let's fs write file sync. And then let's go back, go to temp / cleaned feature translations. I always do JSON. We can do about it. You got a problem? Got a problem with that? Okay. Now let's run this. Clean feature translations. Oh, you know why? Because it's using this. I should do path for all this stuff. Yeah. Path join. You see why I want to automate these jobs, because you get it. I'm just kidding. Coding is play. Okay, it's not serious. Everyone's like trying to work and like make money. Like relax. Oh, right. It's getting the dir name of the file. My bad. So now I can use the dot dot. Okay. Now it says this doesn't exist because I said features translation. It's probably right the first time. Okay, right. In. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to like log something. Try the. I'm gonna restart it just so I can see the process. Is this actually slow? It's not slow. It was probably already done too. I was just being lazy. See, like we're going through the process. Like we had an issue with our data set. Now we're going back and we're fixing the data. We're cleaning the data. We have a new file. It should also be a big file. And you know what? I'm not even gonna load it up because I just realized this is gonna be an even bigger file. But we're gonna push this to my drive. Oh yeah, by the way, if you have large data sets and you want to use Google Colab, highly suggest you like get your you just plug in your what's it called? Plug in your Google Drive. Connect your Google Drive. Don't like upload anything to Google Colab directly. It's terrible. Unless it's like super small file. That's fine. What? Huh. I got a very weird notification. Okay. Let's do file upload. I like how sometimes your phone's like, hey, you know we're listening, right? We just wanted to let you know. And you're like, okay. Okay. All right. So we cleaned it. We like made it smaller and bigger at the same time. Okay. So it's uploading. Let's go to AutoFrontend and let's get this new data. I'm using a T4 right now. I'm using a basic GPU. See, you don't have to hunt for GPUs when you just try to mess around with data at a small level. You know, not everything has to be like a big project. Okay, so let's make a new. What I mean is like this might be a big like what if this works well, like that might be very cool, but just make it clean. But what I mean by that is upload complete, perfect. What I mean by that is you don't have to make everything at a large scale. That whole do things at scale thing that works in the market, but engineering wise, you're gonna be a dumb person because you're not gonna know anything works. It's just reality. Being in an environment where you have control in a low level. Actually, let's not clean it yet. I mean, let's just. But when you're interested, we're able to mess around at the low level. That's where the magic happens. Okay, nice. Looks good. Obviously, we're still gonna clean this out. Doesn't have any. Oh yeah, the text. I wanted to have spaces between the text and the carrots. Nice. Oh, you know what? I forgot about these. No, I had a script where I would I'd normalize all these colors for something else. And I normalize all those things. We don't need to do that now. We don't need to do that. That's fine. This is odd because these values right here, I might actually add a space after this colon as well. Because I want to really separate, make it very clear that the tokens for the colon are like this. But I think if the colon is a token, then I think we're good. Actually, we don't have to do that. I don't think we have to do that. Okay, let's clean the data and let's run this again. Oh, one of them didn't get pruned. It's fine. Okay. Let's now use our filter data set. Let's retrain the model. I want to see what the first thing in the filter data set is. Oh, yeah, there's not a 1 in here. 100. Yeah. This is very small. Okay. Wait, this is a whole HTML page. Oh, I turned everything into an HTML page. Right. I got to just get what's in the body. That's what I was doing before. Okay. We got to re-upload. All right. So we got to just get what's in the body, I think. Full text. Yeah, we got to get the body. We got to parse the body out again. Let me just double check because it's converted everything to a full HTML page. Let me just look at another example here. Yeah. We need to get everything in the body. So we need to do body HTML. That's what I was doing before. And I was like, what's Jared think? What's Jared doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. All right. So I'm going to go and go to the drive again and re-upload this. This should be finished in a sec. Let's see. Nice. Okay. So now let's do an upload. This. Is it uploading? Yeah, replace the file. Why is Drive the only thing that's slow here? Drive, come on. Jesus. Okay. The modern web is so clunky and slow. The modern web kind of sucks. You go to a website and it loads like a billion different third-party tools. And they're like, this is the future. The future is just going to be everything is just a third-party tool. Everything is just a vendor. I'm going to leave this open just in case. Okay, so now let's recopy it. Our clean data set. And then clean feature translations. Yeah, let's reprocess this. Refilter it. Redo this. Let's look at this now. Nice. Didn't work. Why didn't that work? Body.html. Hold on a sec. Let me just make sure I actually recopy this. I know I did, but let's open this file again. We don't have to do all this, but okay. Nice. Okay, I don't know what just happened, but it worked now. Okay. Oh, why do we have two? Oh, right. Okay, this is an HTML entity. I was like, why are there double quotes? Okay, we're good. Cool. Let's reload the data set. So now that we have new data, you guys got to see how this data set gets loaded. By the way, I'm keeping all the text in here. I think it's important. I could just not. I could make this, I could say this is just a content tag, and then I could like generate like, I just had a good idea. But I could just say like do lorem ipsum text here or something like that. Or I could say like, hey, use an LLM to fill in the text or something. But I had a good idea. I just realized. So what I've been really struggling with doing generative HTML and all this is the fact that the structure of HTML is not, you can look at it in terms of a sequential thing. You could just say everything's depth first search, which is sort of how it is. Everything's sort of a top down look at a DFS, and then that's the sequence. But obviously that can get super hairy because it really isn't like a sequence in that aspect. It's a structure of a tree that some parts might be really large, and some parts might be dense, some parts might not be. Some parts may have leaves of leaves, or may have just only one element connected to each other. I mean, not leaves of leaves, but so that's really the hard part when it comes to using transformers with HTML, is that HTML really isn't that sequential. Okay, cool. So let's run this again. Let's run this. Let's run this. And this. Okay, cool. Training. Oh, you know what? Did I get a new model? No. Hold on a sec. I could have sworn I got a new model. Did I not get a new model? No, I didn't. Huh. That's like a very obvious thing I should have did. Yeah, you get a new fresh model. By the way, I like working on like these small generic models first. Just to sort of see like the value in what and whether in my data set first. And then I like to kind of scale it up a little bit. Okay. So we don't have to do that again. We don't have to do that again. All right, let's get the optimizer again. Let's get the scheduler again. Using Adam W optimizer. Pretty common optimizer. All right, cool. Run it again. I just realized the loss might be too high. I mean, the learning rate might be too high, not the loss. Loss always starts high, obviously. Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean, relative to what you want it to be. It's just the nature of errors. Okay. It's going down. I think the world of AI is interesting because I'm slowly realizing that AI isn't people. It's not really intelligent. This, like, it really isn't. And I know that might, like, the mentality in tech now is just like trying to get towards the super intelligence, but I don't think that's, I think the most that'll do is just reveal some fatal flaws in humanity. I don't think it's like AI is not what you think it is, bro. It's we're even calling it AI. Machine learning is more so what it is. This high quality pattern recognition in which it sort of generalizes information is really cool, and you can amp it up on an insane amount of information. And you can get it to learn really well, but it's never like a person isn't intelligent, like isn't just raw IQ. And I get it's like there's a creative element to AI that I don't think will ever be addressed because it can't be. Because like we can't, I don't think we can really be conscious of how intelligent we really are. I think it's almost like a curse. We're like it's not like a bad curse, but I think it's like we'll just never fully understand who we are. Anyway, so I'm gonna take away all your jobs. What hackney thing do I need to say? No, like it's like we can automate a lot of interesting market uses of information and the creative uses of information, but like you can't make a baby with a machine. Sorry. Uh like we're seeing like a mass revenge of the nerds happening in the whole world where it's like everyone's trying to not everyone, but like trying to make intelligence like they're trying to like kind of create people with their machines. It's not gonna work. Anyway, I'm gonna make a front end developer. I understand the irony. Okay, let's see. Loss is going down. Average training loss. Okay. I just realized it's like 501 steps. And I would log this every 100 steps. Okay. Going down a little bit. I want to log because I think it's the learning rate's updating. I want to see what's updating with that. Okay. We're at a new epoch. The data should be a lot cleaner, by the way. Okay. We're starting to get into that territory where I don't think we're learning as much as we want to be. I think in the next few years, we're really gonna have to address like what is a human, and are you pro that? Okay, 49. We're going down. The loss is going down. If you don't know what loss is, invalidation loss, and all that, look now. So we're calculating the errors when when the model does a forward pass. I think this is using cross entropy loss. I was like reading the yeah, I'm pretty sure. Um but it calculates loss for it kind of has this accumulation based on essentially whether or not these neurons are learning what we want in terms of like can it actually generate what we want, and it's getting that error rate, and then it'll update, make little tiny adjustments, and we're saying how tiny we want those adjustments to be using the learning rate to each neuron, so each little uh, feature detector in the maybe that's not the best way to say it, but each neuron in the AI in the model, and then within each of these neurons, it'll update it based on whether that error rate that we get. And we're going to try closer and closer to the output that we want. I just realized I don't think we're learning anymore. Yeah, let's stop. Okay. Yeah, there's no point in graphing that. It's only 2 minutes per thing. That's nice. Okay, so we need more batches. I need to make this work with a lot of batches. I'm only doing batch size of 1 right now. I know. I don't think it actually matters yet. I think I really want to fine tune this. Oh my god. Let's see. That's not good. It was not terrible, but it's not great. Let's see. Oh, actually, it's not that bad. Height relative is not a thing. I'm just trying to see if we can get the structure right now. Okay, and it had problems with that. Okay, so let me see. Let's first update the param. Ooh, wow. This looks better. Wow, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Tokenizer is like all fucked up too. Anyway, this looks a lot better. I realize that the spaces are there because it tokenizes the way it tokenizes this, which is fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so this looks a lot better than the last generation. I don't know why this one's like, oh shit, and then it like started. It started. Oh wait, it started getting a link. Let's see if the. I don't. I don't think it's actually like learning like this yet, but I just want to see. You know what? There are links in here. I don't think it's actually doing it that well yet. But this does look pretty structured in the way that we want it, which is nice. Okay, nice. That's really cool. So we clean that data. I'm not going to use my semantic CSS framework yet. There might be another additional video. I want to try this out with Code Llama, or at least a better. Which text encoder is he using now? Can I use star encoder for this? Let's see here. That's cool. That's actually way more structured than I thought it would be. I didn't think so. This is actually kind of learning a little bit. I need to see what it looks like. Obviously. By the way, I'm truncating all this shit, so that's another thing. Well, there's no reason to remove something that isn't broken. Okay. So where am I going? Yeah, I want to go back up to the model. Let's go to Bert base uncase. I want to, like, it'd be really cool if we could get this to a place where I may have to do it on like a part 2 video where I can actually show the sites that it's generating, because right now it's not like great. I could just use a larger one, but no, this is for sentences and we want one that can write code. Okay, I gotta look in the Vision encoder. What models can I actually use? Can I use any like transformer model they have? Let's see. Any pre-trained. Oh, you can use any pre-trained model as a. Is that for real? Oh, she's Llama 2. She's Mistral. Is that like legit? Okay. I feel like that's not true. Wait, what? Um. Oh yeah, I need to install the newest one, the newest transformers to use this. I like Mistral. Can I just use Mistral? I feel like I can't. Oh yeah, I think they use the can't use the BERT. I think they use GP. Which tokenizer can I use? I think they have a llama tokenizer. Just go to the other ones they have. 7 billion. They don't have any documentation. That's crazy. I mean, hey, I like the model, but I feel like there should be docs on there. It's all good. Maybe they're not like officially putting it on Hugging Face. No, fuck that. It's just funny to be like, no, it's all right. You know what? Fuck everybody. All right. So I want to see how to like load this up. Oh, this one has one. Oh, I can just use auto tokenizer for the instruct one. Oh. Okay. I think it's not going to be able to load it because this is like, I'm pretty sure the Vision encoder decoder is pretty experimental. So see if load this. I'm actually going to put this in a image model. So far, it's actually kind of cool that it's like doing shit. Like it is generating HTML, sorta. It may have overtrained though. Dry code. Okay. Let's see if this actually loads up. I might get if I get the key error thing, I need to get new transformers. Let's see. What? Oh. Work. Okay. It is downloading it, which is nice. Nice. I should just run a T4. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, we gotta go to an A100. Completely forgot. Yeah. Yeah, this is 15 gigs. No way this is no way this is nice. Heard some good news. Okay, cool. Let's load this up. Loading and loading and loading and loading and loading and loading and loading. If you're a front end developer, I'm not sorry. No, no, I get it. I've done front end. I've been a front end dev. Been a back end dev, front end dev. It's all the same. It's all the same. Sorry to disrespect you looking at my phone like that. It's not all the same. I don't know why I said that. It's all very different actually. I'm like, yeah, you just fucking do front end. You can do back end too. You could do fucking mobile. It doesn't matter. You can do systems. It's all same shit. That's the guy who's seen it all. The guy who's just seen it all over it. Like the guy who's that's a funny bit. Like the guy who's just seen everything. He's like, yeah, dude, Navy SEAL, fucking programmer, Wawa employee. It's all the same shit. Dude, those are all like very, very different things. Yeah, I just take everything a day at a time. I want to be a guy that just says shit like that. The guy that just says like CSS scares me. All right, you're never gonna have to do CSS anymore. I'm taking care of it for you. You'll never have to do CSS anymore. Front end CSS. It's all the same shit. Interesting. Yeah, CUDA out of memory. Okay. This is why we get A100s. Let's see if they let me get one. We want that big memory bus. They're gonna jip me on this one. I know it. Oh, is YouTube gonna cancel me for that? Jip. Let's see. Connecting. Connecting. Please. Because sometimes half the time they'll put me on like the V100 or like the T4, even though I'll explicitly say 100. Look at all these compute units I pay for. You gonna do that to me, Google? You gonna do that to me? You gonna lie? You guys tell me that I'm gonna get a resource. Shame. Shame. Now it's just taking forever. Oh, it says it's not available. Why? Then don't make a service. Like, how could it not be available? I know how, but like, all right, I'm gonna try one more time because I want to try fine tuning this first before we really like fine tuning with code with Mistral before we really. I just realized we might want to do PFD. Can we do that with the Vision Coder? I just realized we might have to update the Vision Coder decoder to do that. Huh. Oh, we got one now. Nice. Okay, cool. Kick someone off it. All right, let's do it. I don't know why I have two of these. Okay. Let's load this up. Then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And this. I'm just like running everything. Okay. And then we'll run this. Anything new in the AI dev world in the last week or so? What's fancy and new in the AI dev world? There's a lot happening that I don't want to say. That's more so where I'm at with it. There's too much to say, so there's too many like new tools that I don't really want to. It's all the same. You know what's new, Art? It's all the same shit. That's the new part. What's new is everything's the same and nothing changed. No, I think there's too much. Things are happening too fast, and I think we need to get back to basics. OpenAI conference is in. Oh, really? Interesting. OpenAI conference in 2 weeks. Well, we'll wait until then. We'll see what OpenAI has. I think that'll be fascinating. That'll be fascinating to see what they have. Very fascinating. There's a lot of new tooling, and I feel like it's good to just. It's easy to get caught up in that. I've even done that. Like I've gotten super caught up in tooling. Of like, oh, I gotta use this thing. Now I'm like really trying to like honestly just studying like the basics and basics of machine learning. Getting back to the basics. Let's see. We're loading. Well, the new thing this week is I'm going to take all the front end jobs. Let's see. Loading Mistral. Let's see. Still going. Dude, AI is so fucking annoying sometimes because it's, or like doing all the machine learning. Because I remember, because it was so nice learning to code, like doing web development and all that, because everything's so basic. You're just like, yeah, I just fucking like press run and the site's up. And now it's like I gotta wait like 12 hours until this like trains, and then it like might not. And then I'm overtraining and undertraining, and I gotta like look at data. Ugh. Isn't that what the plebes do? Let's see. So and I gotta load up nowadays. It's like I gotta load up like a 20 gigabyte like model. Like that's fucking absurd. Okay, I think it's almost done. I gotta load the checkpoints though. Do 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 do. Come on, let's load this up. Why am I so impatient? Maybe I should self-reflect. Think about life. Okay. See if this actually breaks. If this breaks, kind of fucked. No, not fucked, but like I just need to find a better way to load this up. So right now we're going from using the shitty BERT model to using Mistral, which is like powerful. We don't even need to use Mistral. We probably should have taken more of a baby step. Yeah, but being able to call yourself a data engineer is big points for VCs. No, 100%. Data engineer was my first role, I remember. And I was like, or it was my, no, it was my first role. It was one of my first roles. I was like data engineer. All I did was like I just did scroll tracking scripts. I was a data engineer. I like tracked data, people's data. All right. Can you call yourself a data scientist if you're self-taught? I think you can call yourself anything in America. All right, we're American. We can say whatever. We could be. I'm president. Like I don't. I'm the president. We're entitled. Entitled means elite. All right, so okay, cool. So we got our data set. Yeah, if you're a if you're a data scientist, or if you're like trying to be a data scientist, literally just say you're a data scientist. The one cool thing about tech is like, if you can do stuff, you can kind of make, like, you could just say whatever you are. It's like if someone's trying to do data science and they don't have a degree, it's like, dude, you're a data scientist. If you do it, if you do the job well, you're it. Like, how many degrees does Tesla have? It's like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, then again, you're asking the wrong person for that. But I am the president, obviously. Just kidding. I'd be a terrible president. I'd be like, yeah, just I don't know. I'd be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. Like, they'll be like, hey, you wanna, oh, we have to like bomb this like fucking country in the Middle East. And I'll be like, ah, shit. How about we do that next week? I'm like, we can do that later. And they're like, no, you have to make a decision right now. And I'm like, do we? I don't think so. I'd be like, you're so serious. I remember like friends would always make fun of me because I'm always like, it's fine. Like, anything happens, and I'm like, it's fine. Like, I feel like if I'd be like, it's fine when it's not fine. Like they'd be like, no, like we need to like bomb whatever. We need to bomb these like people. And if we don't, then we're gonna not be the dollar's gonna lose like 80% of its value or something. And I'm like, does the dollar need to be high valued? Like, I'll be like, is this necessary? Let's just do it later. It's funny. It's not fully funny though, because I am pretty on. I don't know. I'm not actually like lazy though. It'd be more. I mean, I feel like it's more funny because it's like I think I think like I wouldn't want to tell my Secretary of State and all that I don't want to do the job. So I'd like just push stuff off. Like, I'd just still be coding. And then they're like, Jerry, you need to like make a decision, like blow up Iran or something. And I'm like, and I don't want to do that. So I just be like, fucking, I have a really good plan for next week. I tried Hot Pot for the first time. It was dope. $45, all you can eat in LA. Dude, there's a $26 Hot Pot with like super high quality beef in Philly here, and like super, like everything's like just high quality meats, like seafood. It's oysters. They have like this like Louisiana seafood broil. It's 26. Well, that's the $36 one. Dude, I was blown away. I was blown away. Let's see. Let's look. All right, let's test this out. Oh shit. Oh, we got an error. Make sure to set decoder start token ID attribute of the model. Yeah, true. I just used the same stuff in the last one. I did. Well, you know what? This CLS token ID is not a thing. So you know what? They have it's using very similar Llama 2 tokenizer, I'm pretty sure. Let's just look at the Llama token ID. Yeah, let's print these out. I'll just manually figure it out. I just fucking manually figure it out. Let's see. All right. There's no CLS token. What the fuck? Is it that first one? I think it's the first one there. Let me think. Yeah, it's the first one. Let's see. That might fuck it up. Hold on. It's 100, so whatever. I'll just make this 100. See if it fixes it. Let's see if that fixes it. No, something broke. Oh, pad token. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if like. All right, let's see. Let's go up here. See, this is the type of fucking projects I like working on. It's like I'm actually like figuring stuff out. It's like I'm gonna like use it. All right, let's see. What was the fuck? What was Oh no, it's not 100. It's 1, and this is 2. Yeah. Okay. I like working on stuff that it's like related to stuff that I think is. Fuck. Interesting. Encoder hidden states. So it really isn't what they said. So they said I do need to stop this soon because I'm trying to I want to make this multi-part. I don't want to just fucking hammer on forever because this one might have to be, this one's a big one. This one's a big one, but I do want to load up. Anyway, we know that it works. We know that like it can actually do it, and we can actually train it properly. But we need to find a good okay, my to do for the part 2 is I need to find a high quality code LLM that's not too big, that I can use. It can be big, but it doesn't, ideally not, that I can use, because apparently this VisionEncoderDecoder, it has to use some sort of encoder hidden states. I'm guessing for the cross entropy. I mean the cross tension, and Mistral doesn't use that. So I got to find a better model for this. See, this is how this works. You figure things out. But anyway, we did generate HTML that looked like HTML. Like the model did learn, and it looked like it did figure out that there was a link on the page. Pretty sure. I don't know for sure how legit that is, but that's pretty fucking cool that it actually it started generating an A tag with the embedded styles. That's pretty fucking cool. All right, Art. I'll see you. This one's fun just because using a lot of tech that I don't know. I think this one can be pretty fucking cool in the end. I'm gonna have a part 2 to this one probably on Wednesday or something. All right, I'll see you.